Huge news, Roy. The C1D Paintball team has a podcast. Yes, that's right, Dick. Wild bunch, those C1D fellas. Tune in every Sunday at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time for an amazing podcast.
Dad, come on.
They're always wondering what the plan is. I'm telling them it all depends. Is it our only chance to win? Or is this just Canadian First Division with a group of my friends for the love of the game? Let's just go have some fun. It isn't life or death. We're not going to war. Just Canadian First Division. Remember. At the end. It's just a game. Let's just go have some fun. It isn't life or death. We're not going to war. Just Canadian First Division.
Hey there, Andrew, C1D Paintball podcast. We are down a man tonight, honorably. Jeff is working, but don't fret. I have Connor and Mike. Connor, you want to start first? How are you doing when we're recording this? I'm not saying when, because we don't want, people to like, stalk us and such, the popularity of Paintball podcast being what it is.
Yeah, I mean, without leaking any sensitive information at 7:37 p.m. on this great night, I'm doing good. Excited to be back. Feels like we're paintball season, it's a week closer every single time we talk, so it's good to be back here.
Well put. It's always a week closer. So listen to us. Hey, Adam. Adam's listening.
Yeah.
Adam, Mike, before you go, Adam joining the group last year. Of course, he went to Ballin' for Boobies. He's awesome. We should have him on the show, actually. He'd be good for a few stories, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
More important, he's going to help us create stories this year.
Yeah.
Mike, what's up, my friend?
Not much. Went to Vermont today, had a little mini road trip, so that was nice. But nothing else. Connor said it great. Every week we're here is just a week closer to paintball, so I'm really excited. I've seen some guys out playing paintball today, online actually, out in the winter, playing some winter ball. So yeah, that got me real amped up to get out there. So I'm ready.
Okay. I'm glad to see people out there playing, but I'm going to tell you, the guys I saw playing locally, and that's great. Good for them. But I don't know how cold it is where you are, Mike. But, balls off a brass monkey, they're going to fall off here. It is damn cold. It's like, I really want to play paintball again. Not that much. Not that much.
So it was what? It was like it was like 0 right there, huh?
Yeah, in Celsius, it was I think -16 without the wind.
Oh my God.
Yesterday it was up to -28 with the wind, but anyway, it was cold. Hey, Owen's here as well. Just like Adam, they joined together. They came together and conquered Ballin' for Boobies. Actually, they also went to their first D-Day with us last year. And as I like to tell people when they say, oh, this is my first D-Day, I said, you know what? After this, it will not be your last. But I'll stop glizzing up that one. What's the show about? We were going through questions last episode. And we're going to continue to do that. And I welcome Adam and Owen keying in if they want to give their opinions on it too. Like I said, Jeff's not here, so we got a little bit of time we get out there, and we'll ride this out. We're already, by the way, beautiful song on the intro, one of my favorites, called Remember. It's actually in a compilation video of some shots I took, and because it is an intro to the podcast, it gets its own jukebox video too. And I swear, I've been in the car listening. I got all kinds of my Spotify playlist and that. I even listen to music on Facebook like this. It's kind of cool.
I see the views going up every single day when I listen to some of the songs.
There you go.
Listening to them.
There is something. Meanwhile, we lose subscriptions because people want to see action videos. No. We do what we do. We got all kinds of video. We have to talk about what we do because we have a lot of different things we do. And I do with videos, and Mike, you do with your videos as well. And actually, funny enough, not funny enough, you think about it, Connor's given me a lot of ideas over the years on what to add, what to take away and such. So he's had an influence on that. So we've got these questions to go through. Hey, Johnny's here too. Johnny, you saving up hope you're saving up your money for D-Day. You don't have to save up too much because we'll hook you up when you come up here with the boys.
Yeah, you won't have to worry about food. You'll just get only poutine here, poutine.
Yeah,
and barbecue.
And barbecue. Oh God.
Well, I tell you one thing. You had that skillet out there. What is it called again? That brand?
Blackstone.
The man brings the best.
That was the little one too. You should see the big one. I could feed like 30 people on that thing.
Yeah, dude, you're a legend. You're like out cooking for everybody, and you still were only like 1 or 2 minutes late for the start of the game or something.
Yeah, on like 2 hours of sleep.
Yeah,
Thought I was waking up in the field next to us.
I have a plan to bring out 5 tents of my own next year, like 5 canopies. There's going to be like we're going to carve out a pattern, and it's going to be. It's going to be over the top. Let's put it that way. And fun. Love a Blackstone. Now I'm hungry. Another 50 minutes before I can gorge here.
They're the best for breakfast. I'll just add that in there real quick.
The breakfast was awesome, but I mean, I usually just need a cup of coffee and just a little bit to get me going. And I had a bit because hey, it's DJ. But I'm sitting there and it's like, come on, guys, eat. It's like I wanted to eat so much, but I also wanted to physically survive. as I sip my hibiscus tea from my C1D podcast members mug. I will read the first one here. So, like we did last time, we just kind of give a couple of opinions on a topic and see where we land. And when we did it last week too, we actually had Connor and I created a point C on a couple of them, I think. All right. Question one. Point one. Slow players ruin more games than aggressive players. Ooh boy. So
I don't want to go first.
Okay, well, I'll show what they suggest and the mindset that this whole question apparently was supposed to pull from us here. Slow players stall momentum, clog lanes, and force teammates to overextend. Playing safe often becomes playing scared, creating more chaos than control. That was the A method, the A selection. Kind of glass half empty, on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, they're both half empty. They're tearing up each side. Aggressive players cause overshooting, reckless pushes, and panic. Slow, methodical play wins long games and keeps situations under control.
Excuse me.
Mr. Connor, bless you, sir. Mr. Connor, your opinion on these?
Okay, well, I don't have the questions in front of me because I felt like last week having the question was good, but then the prompts for like what the two sides are, it kind of gives away what we're gonna say. And so kind of just going off of it, I side more of that the fast play causes problems more. I think slow play might create, frustration in stuff. It might make the game, I guess, boring in a sense of like, imagine, your team's a little slow paced and the other team is just as slow. And, the games are lasting way too long. You get knocked out. You're waiting 20 minutes for the game to end. I think that's frustrating, but I don't think it creates, like any sort of physical altercation at all. Like, I don't think you're going to be upset as you would if a fast player bum rushed you, lighting you up, whatever. So I think it's more the fast players can probably, ruin a day more than a slow player playing very passive.
Fair enough. Mike?
I agree with that. I agree with that. I don't have anything to add with that. I'm reading the prompts here as well, and it's steering me somewhere else. I have nothing else to add to that.
Yeah. The prompts I like, actually. I know Connor said he didn't want them up, but you can see because if we, face it, look, this is year 3 together for the three of us. Connor and I have been playing together. It's 9 years of C1D, but for longer than that. So we know each other. We tend to share generally the same field values. So I like seeing those other opinions that we might not even think of. Like, it's dangerous. It's like being slow is dangerous. It's like, oh.
I tend to be a fast player. I like to get things done and over with, and I don't see it being an issue myself, though. That'd be my only backfire to that. But yeah.
I think aggressive and slow players are just player types, and it can create a good dynamic game. And it's like when we have games sometimes where we play where it's like, they got a couple of they got some slow guys, but they can shoot, and then vice versa. Like, oh shoot, we're playing on Village, and Connor, Michael, and a couple of the other young guys, and they got Gene on the other team, and it's like, okay, we're kind of doomed on this one for speed. It adds a dynamic. I don't think any of them are wrong. Any player can be. When I read the word aggressive, I think of aggressive play. not as
Yeah,
in a guy who's like, "Hey, you don't fucking hit me," no, one of these guys,
yeah. Like they meant like fast, aggressive. I think
Yeah.
it's good to have a mix of both.
Mhm.
Also, because it makes for interesting things. Like Miranda likes to hang back, and Connor likes to flank. So you have that situation. If it's Miranda versus Connor, you get this kind of cool like thing that's going to happen. Connor's going to flank around this way, and Miranda's going to have to keep her peepers open. On all different ways to watch it. I think it's good to have a mix of both. I don't think that either would ruin the question is ruin, a game. I don't think either of them would ruin a game. No.
As a matter of fact, it's nice to see that situation that I mentioned before about fast players. What if they get on a small field, or you're expecting them to be fast on a fast field, and so you set up defensively or offensively, you try to counter that, and then they don't do it. It's just a dynamic of it.
Mm-hmm.
And look, here's a sidebar which could take us for the next 43 minutes until the end of the show when I say this, but I don't think anybody complains about a slow player. Aggressive players, sometimes, because we do a lot of walk-ins, right? We can do a lot of walk-ins, and it's like, do you always need to be aggressive? Because it can be a little intimidating. I like to think that our crew, picks their spots. Like Connor's not going to run a flank alongside of the road on whatever field market and try to wipe everybody out if there's a hockey party with a bunch of 14-year-olds with us.
Right.
Sure, if he's had a shitty week, it might feel good to do that, but
I mean, I feel like you can complain about both. Like, I don't know. How I'm
Miranda's
interpreting the question as I think both can equally be really bad. Like, it all depends on the person, right? So it's lots of generalizing.
Yeah.
But
I think
like,
because
if you have
it's
an
also
aggressive
ruining
player,
a game. Like, so you'd have to walk off the field and be like, that game sucked. Like, I did not enjoy that at all. Like,
exactly. And I'm saying that more times than not, when you get that, I feel like it's an aggressive player.
Yeah.
Or like when aggressive so fast, because I feel like you can have when you play with like a rental, for example, where they might be super aggressive and whatever, and they might just run in, but the fact that they have that rental marker or whatever, it's not as like what the heck when they're overshooting you than somebody with a speedball
and who knows what they're doing.
marker.
And
Exactly. So
for
I don't
sure.
know. Like for me, the way I'm thinking of it, it's like, what would piss me off more? There's a guy in the back with like a box mag shooting automatic, not moving at all, but just like whatever, not moving an inch and just being like a sentry gun, or guy that's just super aggressive, doesn't let you breathe. And I feel like the second guy would probably upset me more.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
yeah.
Hello, Pierre,
Good
joining
point.
us live on that one. By the way, I want to talk about what you mentioned before, Mike, is Miranda. A lot of people, the first time they see her play, or maybe they played with her a couple of times and just didn't notice, but she's a player that stays back. She will creep up, but what she does, she usually goes to the first level of cover after spawn. Sometimes she stays in spawn. She analyzes the field. She sees, and she's one or two steps ahead of it. So it's one thing, noobs will just sit and wait. And sometimes, experienced players can be a bitch and just sit back. I mean, I'd rather sit off a game than do that. But you know what? I think you know what I mean by that. But no, she is actually very good at seeing the field and deciding, well, this is where I'm needed. This is where I need to go. And, I always bring things back to D-Day one way or another. And I like to play as a unit. But if I ever had like 4 or 5 people to go somewhere, and I know she's shy, but I would feel like I would send her with you, Mike, even though you guys don't play like by the hip all the time, because, you can say, okay, guys, this is what we're going to do. And you can kind of go with her and saying, what do you see here? Because she is a very observant player. And as she gets more vocal, and we're going on a few years here, kid, give your opinion on things. And there are players that stay back or creep up slowly, that are just, taking things in, Although I've got to say something. She ever ran for the flag one day, my jaw would hit the floor. Probably no one would even fire until she was back because it would be so shocking.
Yeah, right. She actually, like ID Day, for example, she actually points out more, like if she's with me, she points out more targets for me. She's like, oh, there's a guy right there, like next to that truck. And I'm like, oh yeah, there is. And okay, perfect. Yeah, she's super observant, that's for sure.
Connor, you said you don't have the questions up, or do you want me to read this one and we'll just change the order of? Okay.
Sure.
So actually, do you want to read number 2, Mike? Me and you'll take turns.
Sure. Let's see. Debate number 2. Gear choice matters more than skill. I think we kind of touched on this a smidge before, but talent. A, reliable markers, loaders, and air systems win fights. Bad or poorly tuned gear gets players eliminated before skill even matters. B, the B side, good players win with anything. Blaming gear is an excuse for bad positioning, poor awareness, and weak fundamentals.
Wow.
So I remember
pretty harsh ways these sentences end, by the way. They give them the benefit of the doubt and then they shit on them.
They do give you a punch to the gut right at the end. I remember Jeff touching on this a little bit with one of the questions that we had before, mentioning like paintball is paintball. I think it was something with the loudness or something, but paintball is paintball no matter. It was hopper versus mag.
Oh yeah.
You're making noise, you're doing this, you're doing that. Like you can't blame it on you can't blame it on your equipment. And then if you come with a pump, so I actually like that. So gear choice matters more than skill. I don't believe that. I believe it.
I think talent. Yeah, talent for me, talent definitely goes over equipment.
Mikey is a prime example of that. You put any marker in his hand, even one he's never used, and he still will be one of the most dangerous guys on the
Thomas field. Bork would come
is another prime example of that. So
Thomas might fire 50, 70, 80 balls with his little tubes and all that in a day, sometimes maybe, or at least in a good morning session. And he'll still like probably rack up many more kills than the layman on it. There's no question.
Yeah. I think that one's, at least for me, it's pretty, I mean, obviously gear helps, better markers help, but at the end of the day, it's who's behind it and what they're doing.
Yeah.
Making the calls, choosing when to shoot, choosing when to move.
Connor, are you going to concur? We're kind of just leaving your opinion out of this one, apparently. Or you're thinking of a hot take? We're giving you enough time for a hot take, kid.
Be the instigator.
I think I'm gonna have to disagree with you guys.
All right. Let's hear it.
Because I feel like there is you can graph it almost like at the beginning. Well, I don't know. Okay. When you have your average marker, it doesn't make a difference. And I feel like whether you're good or not, it doesn't like make up for a lack or bring down your talent. And at one end, it's the opposite. Like, for example, if you're playing against people that have normal markers and you're using a paintball slingshot, I feel like, you're at a disadvantage, and any sort of talent doesn't matter because any experienced player that can shoot at least, one shot without having to put another in the thing and pull it back is going to take you out. And I feel like the complete opposite end is the exact same too, where that even though you might have a standard thing, a standard marker, if the other person can just shoot way more than you and they're just average, I feel like they can still beat you.
And I agree with that.
I don't know. Because I think it can go either way for sure. But like, there's certain things where, like myself using pretty average stuff, I feel like I just don't stand a chance against a certain player unless I have somebody else with me, which then if I need help in a 1v1, I can't say that. Whatever. So it's either they're more experienced than me or they have a better marker, but I feel like, I don't know. Yeah. Like if I have my normal TMC, I have my normal TMC, and I don't know, thinking of that Titman Challenge in Mirabeau, where there's this guy shooting some sort of speedball marker. I don't even know how many balls per second. It sounded like a minigun. And he just has like, I don't know, it felt like 50 hoppers. There's absolutely no 0% chance I could ever kill him one-on-one.
Right.
I need somebody else at least to pull his fire. And because of that, I have to say that equipment does matter. So
Pierre's got a hot take. I would say 50-50 on the overall question, which, to be honest, I would have backed that up 100%. It's easier to be a noob with a speedball than with a 98. Yeah, exactly. You might fire more shots, that's for sure. And of course, make the field a lot more money.
What do you guys think about the instructor side of things? If gear doesn't matter, why does everyone upgrade immediately? Because I mean, you do see that. I mean, there's examples of you guys. You guys are running the TMCs. You love them.
Yeah.
Your third hand. You know what I mean? But the majority of people, are they doing it? They're doing it. I think personally that people just do it just to they see everyone else around them. Oh, this guy's got an EMF. This guy's they want to look cool. Do they want to have like a marker that feels real, that looks real? Do they want to feel that immersion? I think it's more that. I don't think that like someone's like, oh, I got this 98. It sucks. I'm not shooting people as good. Maybe I should get an EMF. Maybe I'll shoot better. I think they just personally want to look cooler.
Yeah, it's a personal thing.
I agree with that, but I feel like it's also just kind of like conditioning from other things, like whether you're playing like a sport and you buy your first hockey stick and it's whatever, like $100, and you break it on a slap shot. It's like, damn, my stick sucks because I broke it. Now let me get a more expensive stick so I can get a better shot out of it. You know, it's a composite stick, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, I just feel like from other stuff too, like video games, there's so many games I've played, like in certain Call of Duties, where you start the game, you don't have to create a class. You start with this gun, and you're like, damn, I can't wait to make my own class. And when you finally do, you might start using new guns, and you're like, okay, you know what? I really like the MP5. That was my default gun and stuff. I feel like you're just kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of always looking to upgrade or whatever. And especially when you see other people with shiny stuff, and this looks so cool compared to my thing that's, you know, just gunmetal gray, and it's whatever. You want to be cool, I guess.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, I want to say we got Patrick McGooey. We have, and I'm not underselling this, we have Paintball royalty with us. Patrick McGooey is an institution in Eastern Canadian paintball. And he says, it matters to a point. There is a gear plateau. You see the curve the most early on. It is time in and skill that help. Even on a field, you see it is better, like a speedball field. Oh yeah, with a speedball field, like absolutely. Thank you very much, Patrick. I appreciate you listening and chiming in. You're always more than welcome, sir. No, some good points there. Rental field, and more from Patrick here. Rental field, big games, this stuff is not as applicable as the fields are not perfectly balanced. A good point from a guy that plays a lot of woods ball and has been a general, so at a big game. So,
very good points. Very good points.
Very good points with that. It's you know, I think when it boils down to it, I know I had my time already to talk, but it is, you know, a 50-50 thing. And by the way, the podcast is called Ethics because some of these questions, some people would answer on the ethical thing. Maybe like going back on the first question about aggressive or slow players. It might be a question of ethics. I appreciate you guys, Patrick. Well, thank you, sir. We appreciate you. You're just a bunch of goofy guys like you and your friends that I've been listening to for years that just more podcasts come out when the season's off because it's the only thing we can do here. Pierre, it doesn't matter what the level of player it is or what equipment they have, as long as they had fun at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Oh my God. Yeah, if this was the 58-minute mark, I'd say that's a good way to end the podcast. Okay, here's an interesting question. And I guess we'll take turns answering first, and then I'll take a turn answering this one first. Refs change the outcome of games more than players. Interesting. We're
on a woods ball, like rec ball-y
topics,
right?
Yeah, exactly. Missed calls and inconsistent enforcement decide matches. Players adapt to refs more than rules, especially in rec ball. Good teams don't, and the flip side, good teams don't rely on refs. Bleeding officiating avoids accountability. Skill shows regardless of calls. Okay. Now you really know what you mean, Connor, when you're talking about just, hey, do refs change the outcome and these things? Like, I kind of like that. Your point, Mike, for sure. Rec ball, but if you're talking about a big game, bad reffing can. When you're talking about a big game, is you don't want to lose. You don't want to lose one team. Like, oh my God, they're cheating. They're cheating and they're wiping. You're not catching it, which is difficult, even when you have a lot of refs out there. So bad reffing can influence it, but I mean. Just like players, and I'm also comparing this to other sports, like say hockey, because I'm Canadian. I got to throw that in the podcast once a episode. Is everybody has a bad day. Now for the rec games, refs don't do whatever. I mean, I have seen back in the day when it was Arnold's paintball. They threw out a guy who did absolutely nothing. So I mean, but that's really a stretch with this one. Anybody who's going to complain that they lost because of a ref is lying to themselves, especially for paintball, especially the Zebra Squad can change things. Airstrike. Well, see, that's the thing with Patrick. That's excellent. Is at a big game, when they see one team's getting their ass kicked, nobody's wiping, but it goes out. You can call an airstrike. The mustard gas goes in. The refs can help control that. They can even remind a general. Hey man, do you want to use an airstrike? Now, actually, Patrick, when you were general, a couple, you know what? I don't want to mix my stories up, but it is a tactic. I remember 2 years ago when our general was Tonka, and we won that one. We kept wanting them when we seemed to have them in a position, but there was still like an hour left in the game. It's like, can we get them to use their airstrike? Let them use their airstrike. And it's kind of a strategy. But once again, I sidetrack off the question. I just don't think it's as much as other sports, but I think, a ref can affect it. But anybody who blames a ref for losing is maybe in speedball, but on rec ball or in a big game, I mean, no, you've got bigger problems to worry about if a ref's calling screwing up a game, a big game where there's multiple referees. You're just maybe you should get a more rewarding hobby than paintball if that upsets you. Connor, would you? Oh, okay. Either of you two go here.
The thing that's popping in my head was one of the last days last season of the fall time where I wasn't playing and I was taking pictures. And I'm not saying that it doesn't say ruin the game, it just changes the outcome of the game. When Rob decided to give a try to reffing at Tire Ball, which is one of the most hectic fields if no one's been there who's listening.
Oh yeah.
But it's just tires. It's nothing but little stacks of tires, very small, compact. It's good for 1v1s. It's where we hosted our 1v1 tournament. But he tried reffing. He's just for the shits and giggles, because it was all a C1D and a couple rentals. He's like, hey, you mind if I try reffing? And so I'm sitting there taking pictures of him reffing and trying to pay attention to the field, and he's yelling, there's 3 people left. Oh wait, no, sorry, there's 4 people left. Oh wait, no. I don't know how many people are left. Just keep shooting, all that, when the game's done. And then, all right, it's 1v1. And then somebody dies. Oh wait, no, now it's 1v1. And it was hilarious, and it didn't ruin anybody's day, but it definitely affected the game in so many ways. Like, no one could pay attention to anything because all the calls were wrong. And it's not that he was like doing a bad job. It's just, it's very hectic in Tire Ball to pay attention to everybody. And there's a lot of people hiding and stuff. So that just, I think that, a ref has everything to do with the game. Like, the outcome of the game, obviously they could make bad poor decisions, this, that, and the other thing. I wouldn't sit there and make a big deal about it, like at a Woods Rec little, Warzone or game or something like that. But it can definitely, I've definitely walked out the field and been like, man, if that ref was paying a little more attention, not at Warzone, but Colchester, they had some very young refs that were kind of like,
yeah,
maybe on their phone or something like that, and they
don't have the same volume as like Warzone. So
so it can definitely
breaking in refs are tough.
Change the outcome of a game hugely, and I can see it in speedball being a very huge problem.
Oh yeah. I mean, that goes without saying. Connor?
Well, this is a very poorly timed question because yesterday the Buffalo Bills were absolutely bent over and fucked by the refs.
Now I got to put an explicit tag on the show. Thanks for that.
Yeah,
No,
there's
I
no
put
other
one
way.
in there anyway.
There's no other way. It was literally the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. It was horrible.
Okay, not liking football in the least.
Yeah. Okay. But no, I mean, I think you look at paintball, and there's two ways you can frame this question. It's like you guys been saying, whether it's a big game or a woods balls, a little more low key thing, rec ball. Rec ball can be most compared to beer league hockey, where there's a ref there. Do you really need a ref? Probably not. Like it's cool to just have one, but you can kind of
you need one. You need one.
How many games?
I know what you're saying.
You absolutely don't. You absolutely
we played
don't.
plenty
In beer league hockey. Oh my gosh.
No, but beer league, if you're both you're both
respectable, yeah.
Well, not respectable, but you're playing your friend's team. Maybe I'm thinking more baseball, but I don't know.
Yeah.
They're there, but I don't know. I'm saying more beer league that's, I guess, younger and maybe not people that are so angry.
Oh yeah, the young guys. Yeah.
Here's my dad. Hi, Dad.
Oh my God.
Special appearance, Big Mike.
There you go.
Yeah.
Why doesn't he come out and play with us? We had. Was it Mikey brought his dad? Did Mikey bring his dad, or was that T hit? It was Mikey.
That was Mikey. Yep, Mikey brought his dad once or twice, I believe.
I missed one of them.
Dad came with me on my bachelor party, and the first time I went paintballing, and he had a blast.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
By the way,
probably the traveling and stuff, but we'll get him out there.
Okay, we got a couple more comments on that last topic. Owen talks about I have nothing but problems with my gear because I'm always going to make your second hand. Refs. Okay, Patrick again chimed in. Refs can more affect the general mood of players. Yes, good refs, happy players, bad refs, angry players. Excellent point. Yeah, it's you don't want to intimidate them either. And maybe I'm being biased because I compare it to other sports, but they are the official. They're supposed to have control of that. Here's a question. You mentioned the example, what Rob was doing. I've asked refs a few times at Warzone to say, hey, can you call out when a player is out? But as that story you said, and I remember that day, I think I do. Anyway, let's go with that. I remember that day. And he tried to say this person's out, this person's out. Now I know why that the refs don't want to do that. I think maybe in a tournament in a special situation, but now I know, especially for like fun ball, rec ball that we play. Do you think refs I would like it if refs did that. That's a variable I wouldn't mind sometimes, especially on market where I'm terrified. I don't know what the hell is going on. Would you like that option sometimes? If it's like, hey guys, when you're knocked out, you have to run to this spot so the ref can call it out. I think that adds a fun element to it.
It does make it hard, I guess, because some days I know that if I get shot on the opposite side of the on the other side of the road or something, instead of walking to the box, walking all the way across the field where I might get smoked in the side of the head, I'll just stand on the sideline on the other side of the road and just wait for, so the ref might not have seen me come out. So when it comes down to a 1v1, it might, I don't know. It would be nice, but I don't think everyone would listen.
All right, let's move on to the next one. You want to read number 4, Mr. Mike?
Sure. Let's see. Number
Remember,
4.
Dad's watching.
Oh yeah, I gotta behave.
Mhm. No stuttering.
Paintball. Paintball is more mental. Oh God! Now you got me in my head. You fucker.
Oh, we gotta clip that one. We gotta clip that one.
Jesus.
Woo-hoo.
Paintball is more mental.
It's like
than
Tropic
physical.
Thunder. What's
Yeah,
that? Simple Jack?
Simple Jack. Yeah, I've never been good at reading out loud. All right, let's start this over again. Paintball is more mental than physical. Aha. A. Decision-making, awareness, and timing wins games. Most eliminations happen because of mistakes, not athletic mismatches. B side is physical ability creates opportunities. Speed, reaction time, and endurance still decides who wins the fight.
I believe it's Connor's turn to answer first. I'm going to be curious about what he says as far as how it relates to what I'm going to say. Paintball is more mental than physical.
I'm going to say it's slightly. I think it might be more physical than mental. Mainly because I feel like you can be as cerebral as you can, but I feel like that can only get you so far in a way. I need to say, but it's because what I'm thinking is like, can I call somebody out?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna call out somebody here. I'm gonna call out my dad.
Okay.
Okay. I was going to say, oh shit, I'm going to be in trouble. I'm going to get an email over this one.
No. Okay. But no, it's like, because I feel like you're a very like cerebral player, and you think about the field where to really well of where to go, somewhere that's safe to go, where it's not safe to go to. But even then, your physical ability limits you, maybe like in terms of getting places, but I think most importantly, in terms of cover, more than anything. So yeah, you will still need the physicality to pull off a mental advantage. Exactly.
That's Jeff. Jeff's chiming in.
Some words of wisdom.
So
I'll tell you what you said about me.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm playing on a team though. So I look at the longer I stay in a game, the less cerebral I get because things are playing out. I always like to start like how it's going to play out, but I know exactly what you mean.
No. It's the main thing I'm trying to get to, more than just being the like agility and stuff, is the amount of times I've killed people that are very like mental and smart, but because they're not, I don't know, this might be the most underrated aspect I think you need in terms of paintball, is just like being, I don't know, like flexible in a way. Is I feel like you have to be very mental of how to position your body behind a piece of cover. Is that even if your like leg is sticking out a little bit, you're cooked. And so if you can't bend that way and stuff, I feel like it's easy, because Dad, I've got you. We played like hundreds of games together. I've gotten you a few times. You've been in the right spot, the right angle, but it's just it's your age. It's nothing to do with how you play. And so that's why I feel like there's this, the mental is a huge advantage, but physicality can come out on top of that, because people can just be so slippery just behind a bit of cover, and they get there too quick, and they're just like a pencil behind it poking out. It's I don't know.
No, Andrew aims for the knees, by the way, because my knees are always sticking out of cover too.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times he shot me in the knees or the toe.
He was for knees and fingers. Yeah.
It's a good thing you don't have a habit of keeping your crotch out in the open lanes, because then we'll deal with that one. Patrick says, I'm a pretty good player. I wish I had athletic abilities as some of my younger teammates. Well, that's just age, man. That happens. I mean, Patrick, you're still like what, freaking almost 20 years younger than me. But no, you got a point with that. But again, if you're part of a team, you can, that kind of balances that out. You need the physicality. Your team, I think, needs a balance of it. But look, when you're playing rec ball in a smaller field, what we were talking about, Market is I love Market Field, but it is so hard on taller players. Remember Ryan's what, 6'5",
Mhm.
He's huge, and he's proportionate to it. I play on that field because I am a bit older and I'm 6 feet tall anyway. And it's like to bend down and get around there. Like I never want to start the day on that field because then I'm hobbling around the rest of the day.
That's the end of
Mike,
the day.
Mike Nichols said, Mike Nichols won. We'll call you Junior for tonight.
Our normal Mike.
When I run, my body gets ahead of my feet. Not a good outcome by any means. Your body gets hit. Is that like me when I say that because I'm teetering over? I hope
Leaning forward. Yeah.
Mike's gonna get a call after the podcast. Is that guy such a prick, or is he being funny? Mike here. My Junior's still trying to figure it out too. So yeah, Mike. I mean, where are you on this debate of mental more than physical?
Well, it being more mental than physical, I think it's a pretty 50-50. I don't know. I wouldn't argue that one was better than the other. With the question being paintball is more mental than physical. I almost messed it up again. I don't know. Like I say, almost every single podcast, like I'm good for one good, like super fast push 1 point of the day. And that's my physicality for the day. I like to try to use my brain more during games. I like to get somewhere quick, but I like to assess the situation and use more of my brain than I do my body, just because I think my brain works a little faster than my body. But I think it's 50-50. Like you said, you need both. You really do need both. You need to have like some game sense, some awareness of what's going on around you. You could be the fastest, most physical person in the world, but if you don't know that there's a point here and that they're spawning here and they're going to be sending so many people this way and that way, and there's probably going to be somebody behind there, and you're not using your brain, you're just going to get taken out so quick. It doesn't matter how physical and fast you are. But
yeah, but you know what? I mean, physical doesn't necessarily mean speed.
Yeah,
physical is when on admin building, for those who've never played at Warzone, it looks like one big building. So you got the left side, the right side. There's a little opening in the middle. So there's a bridge that connects it, the connector bridge. Being stealthy in there is like, okay, I'm going to go slow up the stairs. It creaks. There's two corners going up. I'm going on the left side, if you guys know admin standing in front of it. So you're going around two corners, very quiet. Your head is up, your marker's up, but you're moving your legs, just hoping that you're making the right step. And that's physical, not just because I'm old, because you got to do that because one creak and that's it. Then you got the corner up there. Then they're shooting at your head. You got to get to the other side. So you got to either kind of run over or crawl. Or in the case of me, I'll go on my hands and knees like a baby to go across there because it's easier on my back. I can see young people, that anime run with their arms behind their back and they just like over. You can do it. So there's a physicality. There's always a physicality in paintball. It doesn't necessarily mean like you're running around going gung ho all the time. At least that's the mountain I'll die on here. Okay, and clearly I'm not going to let Mike read another question for the rest of the night.
I'm done. I'm cut off.
Okay, these questions are very random. I love it. So we don't necessarily think this. We're just proposed this. When you hear the question, you understand what the hell I'm saying. Pierre also, Patrick's 45. Age, it's the mileage. That's true. It's not the age, it's the mileage. Pierre, once you've taken your first few marbles of the day up the backside, it becomes mental struggle to get out from your height. It can. I agree with you there, Andrew. Actually, here's a side quest. Does it really matter if you have a shitty first game of the day? And not one where it's like, well, sometimes everybody's getting ready and there's like 6 ready. It's like, do you want to do a quick 3-on-3 on base? And we do that. But like where everybody gets on and it's like the basic core is there. Mike and Miranda, by some miracle, are on time there. And they're even joining the game because it's me. It's like, I better get my shit together now. Mike and Miranda are here. No, do you guys ever like, oh my God, it's going to be a long day? Or I never let it get to me. I mean, maybe once in a while it has, but do you really let the first game set your tone? Maybe that's just a question on your gumption, Mike.
Kind of shapes my day, but I don't let it ruin my day. But sometimes it kind of shapes the way the day is going to go, because I mean, you're playing with those guys all day. But usually if we have a game that's kind of offset or something that's obviously wrong with it or off balance, we usually switch it up and fix it up pretty quick. But I'm also, and it's not your guys' fault or anyone else's fault. It's always because we show up late with the border and such. But I'm always rushed on my first game, so I'm coming out there with like my something hanging off, and I forgot something in the thing, and it's so my first game's never really great anyway. So I try not to let it ruin the day, but it does have kind of effect. It does kind of let me know how the day might go based on how it went.
Connor. Yeah, for sure. You can create a mental hiccup. Patrick, of course, hosts his own podcast. That's why he's so good at this.
Yeah. A lot better than me, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But
well, as you know, Patrick, we just talk about our own little world at Warzone. So it's called niche. Sorry, Connor.
No problem. I think it definitely can. I think Mike's right with it though. Like it can't, I don't think it can ruin your day, but you shouldn't let it, it's, if anything, it should be like a sign, I guess, of, how I should go into the next game. Like if you get absolutely whatever playing one way, you should maybe not change up completely what you're going to do the next game, but it's kind of like, hey, maybe I should think a little more and not being like this, not playing like that this time. It might not work today. It might have worked last time really well, but this time I have to change up what I'm doing. So yeah. It's kind of like a wake up.
Mm-hmm. Fun fact, this year I'm considering making a video of when I get knocked out immediately and just keep it for the entire season, like some sort of challenge, because there are many days, and you guys had it too, but when I look forward to recording it for videos, but anybody out there, as you wait for paintball, it's coming. We play every second weekend, right? So you wait 2 weeks to get out there, and like 2 minutes into the first game, the next thing you know is not only you're knocked out, but you got to pop your freaking lens out because you got smoked right across the head.
2 minutes is graceful. It's like 10 seconds. I've gotten taken out like 10 seconds in my first game.
Oh yeah. The quickest double elimination either at Warzone was Connor took out Norm and Rob in about 5 seconds. But I think the C1D record may be at Lancaster on that little field there at their speedball style field, where me and Mike were taken out in the first 2 seconds.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It is all paintball world. Your field is a snapshot of the rec world, Patrick says. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And
always evolving too.
Always evolving. It's always fun. I love hearing stories about every field and saying, oh, it's a rec ball field. Cool. And even if they're competitive or they do scenarios, it's fascinating. Okay. So we're in 55 minutes here. We have 2 more questions here. Let's see if we can get them both in. Otherwise we can just keep you give you a reason to come back next week. But I don't think it's true. I started this one saying it was like paintball has an intimidation problem. That's the statement. And I actually don't mind point A and B here because I need to know a little bit more about what they want out of us when they say that. A, gear flexing, aggressive language, and veteran attitudes scare off new players. The sports hurts itself by forgetting what day one feels like. B, intimidation is mostly perceived, not intentional. Accountability and challenges are part of growth, not a problem. Who wants to go first on this? Do you want me to go first? Connor, Mike, do you want to take this first? Because I see Connor's got the hamster rolling.
I could say something, I guess, first.
Please go right ahead. I'll go next. Mike, you're gonna back clean up here. I'm really curious to see what Mike's gonna say.
I definitely feel like it does have a really big problem when it comes to that. Is you can talk to so many people, whether they haven't gone before or only once, they might be still intimidated to ever come back because of that first sour experience, and trying to get my friends to play who haven't. When I just kind of tell them stories that might happen, they're like, "What the heck? Like that's crazy, whatever." It's like, "I'm never going now." And it's like, "No, no, I promise it's not that bad. It's not that bad." But no, I think in terms of other things too, it's like, you go there and you see people with all this equipment and stuff, and I want to think it's not intentional, that you're trying to show off and intimidate, and whether they're, especially if they're not part of your group and they're just a group of little kids, coming out for a hockey party or whatever. But there's been places I've been to for sure where it just feels like it's only, maybe not intimidation, but showing off. And it can be like that. I think as a group, I don't think we're intimidating. We might look it at first, and it's that perception. And once people get to play with us and we just open our mouths, we're not so scary.
Mhm.
But I can't. I have to just agree with all the people I've tried getting into paintball and stuff, that it's 100% very intimidating to get into, and that's why it's so important that your first time really matters of who you play with, that you can kind of like dispel that bad vibe
Yeah.
image of it. So yeah.
Look, as rec ball players, that we have our own days where we play by just our own group when there's open. We do a lot, probably do at least 7 events at our home field where we are playing mixed with new players. And it's kind of, when you play with us on those days, and not every time, and that's cool, because you don't you put as much as you want into it. It's not like where you play on a hockey team or baseball team where it's like, well, our first baseman shows up once any 10 games. It's like, no, that hey, they come, they would do whatever. But we have a responsibility, that we know that we good chance we're playing with rentals and walk-ins, and they might be kids sometimes, that we have to understand and tone it down. And what you guys know, when they go and they see our gears, it's like, hey man, hold it, man. They're sitting there. You must be really good. And you guys know what I always do the dad jokes on it, right? I was
Yeah.
like, it's because I'm old. I can afford it, but I don't know how to use it. And hey, don't worry. Hey, you guys play hockey? When I see a hockey team, yeah, I says, the one guy who's got the most expensive stick on the team? Yeah. Sometimes they even call him out saying, did he score the most goals? If they call him out, I won't say it's something too bad. But I mean, yeah, you got to make people feel at home. And I do understand that there is an intimidation problem. But if you deal with it the way we deal with it at our home field, and we're comfortable there, we may not do that at another field. We may kind of zip it in that. But I mean, that's kind of part of the game. Um, Intimidation is mostly perceived, not intentional. Yeah, I get that. I get that. I can see that point, but there is a absolute requirement from us, an obligation when we play, and it's part of the reason why we started the group, to help and make people feel included. And when they see that stuff, and you see them looking, you don't hide it. It's like, well, screw you. It's like, hey, you want to see this? Do you want to use it for the next game? I like that kind of stuff. Mike?
Ooh, you guys had a lot of good points. I think that well, let's see. Pat says, I started playing paintball. It was a survival game. It appealed to me as an adventure. I feel like it has evolved into something different. It's kind of what I was going to get to with. It was a point that they suggested in the notes. Like, I think a lot of veteran players, people who have been playing for a few years, they kind of forget what it feels like for that first day you were on that field. Like, maybe you were by yourself, a friend brought you or something like that. But it is very intimidating from the moment you walk into the building. Like, I mean, I wasn't intimidated at my bachelor party, but the first time that me and Miranda decided to go out on our own and start playing paintball, and we got all this gear and we got confident. I don't know about her, but the minute I walked in, like, I got so intimidated it was half the C1D guys were there with all their vests and gear and mag fed stuff. And I was like, oh my God, like, we got to play with these guys. And if it wasn't for it being C1D I'm not shitting on anyone else or anything, but they gave me a very good experience and stuff. But initially I was intimidated. But I don't think it's intentional. Mostly, I think everyone just wants to, have some cool gear, look good doing it. But there is an exception. There are people who just don't care. You know what I mean? They get this speedball stuff. I mean, we all have been somewhere where there's someone who has been playing for years and has no problem shooting a first time rental in the face like 16 times with a speedball marker while walking away saying something aggressive.
And he might, yeah, I know who you're talking about. We all know who you're talking about.
And unfortunately, that can veer people away. And it wasn't my first time playing, but I've played against people like that, and I've had that happen. I've been like, man, luckily not everybody's like that. But if that was my first time playing, I could have been like, oh, this is paintball. Whatever. Yeah. So I think that I don't think mostly it's not intentional. But it can ruin people's first day, and it can ruin people's perception on paintball in a whole.
Patrick McGooey, we're going to wrap it up here. So one of the last comments of the podcast, I honestly miss that sense of fear, playing against better players, no little kids, just adults. You know what? Yeah, I definitely see that where it's up. I mean, I guess you can view it as a challenge in that, or just the fact that, I mean, face it, we've all been there before when we shoot our first like legit big like move, and it's easy to get some guy, but I'm not saying a regular kill like the start of a game, you catch a guy running out the back, but you go along. I'm using the indoor at Arnold's Paintball as you're on the second floor and there's the slats because it's a fence along the catwalk, and you're trying to run there and you see just somebody, just a sliver, and you get them and you feel like, oh yeah. And that rush. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked with all this again. This is what you guys got to keep me on a leash when I announce that we're going to wrap up soon, but makes the game more challenging. Absolutely. And yeah, but Patrick wanted to find more competitive paintball, and that's cool. I mean, you have the options in the you have a lot of options. If you don't play speedball, but you want to be competitive, look, big games are fun, but they are competitive. You just got to hold on to your hats. There's lots of guys that do milsim scenarios and stuff that follow hardcore rules, stuff that was more common in airsoft that you see a lot more of now. And there's just different ways to play it. And I'll appreciate that, because I wasn't the best hockey player in the world, but when I was a goalie, and when I played, and if I wasn't trying hard, like if I played a team that was our C team. I was on the B team, but because I was a goalie, they only had one goalie in C. If he got injured, I was allowed to go down. I could only play a certain amount of games. And I remember going out there and it was relatively easy just because it just happened to be. And I kind of took it half-heartedly, and I got lit up. And I realized that if I want to do good in that sport, hockey, that because I was playing competitively, I have to I'm either in the zone on top of the game, or that's it. And I was going to say the obvious, Mike, that's a nice cat on your lap. I didn't use the P word with that, but yeah. I mean, look, we all make it more challenging one way or another. I mean, magazines make it more challenging. Even Connor, who doesn't play with a magazine, he doesn't fill his hopper all the time. It's like a grab bag, a synopsis of C1D in a nutshell.
It's my cat's name, by the way.
Oh, the cat's name Poopies?
Poopies, yeah.
I thought Mike Nichols Sr. just made his, he was trying to review us on Spotify and just wrote Poopies in the wrong category.
This is podcast isn't for me, Poopies.
Okay. All right. I'm going to draw the line in the sand because we are right up against it. I want to thank Connor and Mike for being exceptional hosts. I want to thank everybody who's made some comments. The big man, Mike Nichols Sr., Patrick McGooey, We had the crew in here. Pierre was in here before. Jeff dropped by. Nice of when he's working. And of course, we had Owen, and Adam was here pretty much from the start. I don't know if he's still here. Johnny, of course, too. We appreciate that. If we can get you your paintball fix during the off season, good night, Mr. Magui. Appreciate it. Gave up the little mess there. If we can help get your paintball fix itched, scratch that itch that scratch. You know what I'm trying to say. Because are you ready? You ready to hit it? I'm about to say the catchphrase. Is the producer ready? Oh, thanks, guys, for Mike. Producer Mike, you ready? Remember, at the end of the day, it's just a game. Good night, Adam.